Hey guys, welcome to my channel and welcome to this reading. Let's jump in and see what wants to come through. Hope you all are doing well. Right out the gate, I have true self and pseudo self. Okay, so you may be in a place where you are just trying to find what is authentically you. You may be really asking yourself, like, what really has true meaning to me? What am I about? What do I even like? You may be questioning, the place that you're in life at this time in regards to whatever situation this may be playing out in. But it is a time where you are beginning to, question the past, question who you are, who you've become, and who you want to be. Let's keep going, go further into this message. I have karma and balance, weighing things out, cause and effect, choices, want to make things right. Okay, again, like I was saying earlier, it looks like you're just really in a place where you're starting to kind of contemplate about what has true meaning for you and, what things in your life do you want to change? What things are you okay with? And maybe where you see yourself going from here. Okay. So this is a really good place to be where you can kind of dream, a little dream and begin to question and wonder, what do I want to do? Who am I and who do I want to be? So good for you in doing that. Let's keep going and see what else wants to come out. I have confidence coming out. So again, gaining a new sense of confidence. Maybe you weren't all that confident before. Maybe you were a person who, shied away from doing new things, approaching new people, putting yourself in situations that maybe necessarily you had never done before, had never experienced before. And now you're gaining a new sense of confidence, or at least working on it and, really discovering who you are and who you want to be through that confidence. And as you discover, new things about yourself or, try new things and new situations, you're going to gain a higher sense of, confidence, and it'll become more permanently set for you. So you don't even have to try in the future. Okay. So this may have been a significant lesson that you were learning in regards to, your confidence, your self-esteem and self-worth, and that, you can do all of these things that you dream of, but it does take courage in order to kind of put yourself out there and, even do those things and even try them at all. Okay. I have dark past, learning from your mistakes. Again, what I was saying earlier, this is just kind of saying, I've learned from the past. I've made some mistakes. I've been through some situations and I don't really want those things to happen again. Or maybe you found yourself, having pursued a career that maybe you're no longer finding enjoyable, or maybe you didn't really find enjoyable to begin with, but you pursued it because, you thought that was the right thing to do. So put this energy where it belongs. This is a general reading, so it may apply differently to different people. So make sure that you just kind of, take what resonates and leave the rest for someone else. Okay. Let's go further. I'll get some tarot and we'll get some details on this. Maybe see what you're not seeing, what's hidden, and, maybe see what you don't see coming and get some advice. Let's look at the overall energy of the situation. For the overall energy, I have the Six of Pentacles coming out. So the overall energy here is, kind of finding balance. Maybe this is a balance in your give and take in your reality. Maybe this is the balance that you're experiencing in a job and you're trying to find, is the money worth the time and the energy that I'm putting? Is the money that I'm receiving even worth my joy and happiness because I'm really unfulfilled, even though I make a really good, living at what I've pursued? This may also be in regards to, other situations in your life regarding relationships or friendships or other things that you're putting time and energy into. What you're questioning right now is that give and take. Okay. So let's take a look at the recent past and see what got you here. Recent past. I have a couple of things coming out. So I have the World and the Wheel of Fortune coming out for you here. So this is, going through a significant period in time where things are changing and ending. Okay. So it looks like you've had a lot of things kind of simultaneously taking place and happening at the same time. So you've closed out some chapters. You've been through a karmic cycle that you have now completed, and you're kind of in that process here in the recent past of transitioning out of it, or at least, opening yourself up to the possibility of what you'd like to now pursue. Let's take a look at the current energies and I'll have a better idea of where you're at. Where you're currently at is the Five of Cups. Okay, so this might be an energy where maybe you are feeling that change and that transition, and you're beginning to have a little bit of grief over what the past has offered you. Maybe these are things that, didn't turn out the way that you had hoped they were. Again, in that scenario that I threw out at the beginning of the reading of being in, a job that you kind of went into because you felt it was the right thing to do, and now you're feeling very unfulfilled by it. And so maybe now you're questioning, do I even want to stay here? Is this where I see myself in the next 3 to 5 years, even 10 years? Is this where I want to be? Is this what's going to bring me joy and happiness? And you might be finding that you're just rather disappointed by some of the things that you're discovering here. Okay. And this usually, when we're going into this state of, disappointment, and feeling this way, it really opens up an opportunity to crack things open so that we can then begin to even question our reality, question our existence, question who we are, and question why we do the things we do, and how they just kind of seem so ordinary in the day to day. But this gives us a point of kind of a crossroads where we can then begin to take out what doesn't resonate with you anymore, what no longer is in alignment with what you see as being very happy and fulfilling to you, so that you can then move forward in another direction and have new experiences. Okay. So even though you may be feeling a little bit sad, a little bit disappointed, perhaps, don't worry, because the future is going to open up new things for you. You just need to kind of get that little bit of confidence in that things are going in your favor and going in the direction that they're meant to be. You are exactly where you are meant to be, even though sometimes it is uncomfortable and doesn't feel like it. Let's take a look at the near future. In the near future, I have the 10 of Wands. So this doesn't surprise me. It's the way that you're kind of feeling right now, where you're feeling a bit unbalanced in this situation. You're feeling a bit unfair. You're feeling very overburdened, and you're taking on a lot of responsibility. And, you just aren't really too happy with it right now. And so, again, you're questioning where you want to be, what you want to do, and you're going to take time to offload that burden and pursue something new. Let's take a look at your advice. Let's get some advice for you. The advice I have here is justice. This is just getting into a state of balance. Okay. So whether this is, renegotiating your pay, or this is closing out, a job entirely, or closing out a relationship or situation, it's that you're going to put down the burden. But what the advice here is, find a fair and balanced way to do this. Now, this can go a couple of different ways depending upon your situation and what you deem is fit for, what's best for you. Okay. So, put the advice where you want it and apply it only in the way that feels good to you. But what this is saying, and the advice is saying, that things regardless need to balance out. There is a significant imbalance here that is out of place, and it's creating, a block for you, and it's keeping you stuck. It's keeping you feeling overburdened. It's keeping you feeling unsatisfied. And so this is saying that you need to find some kind of fairness. Now, whether you find this fairness in coming into a balanced state of mind and a decision to remove yourself from this situation and move forward into something new, or whether you are able to find this balance with this particular situation or person, and set kind of new boundaries, new rules, new things and ways of going about things, so that you both feel that things are fair, or a job is fair. Maybe you tell your boss that, hey, I've been here a long time and I'm putting in a lot of time of overtime and energy, and I'm not really feeling like I'm getting compensated, or I haven't gotten a raise in a really long time. I really feel that I've earned this raise. And maybe that boss agrees. Maybe they just accidentally overlooked it, and you can find some kind of fair agreement here. Either way, something needs to balance out, whether it's you leaving and rebalancing your energy and time, that you're not overgiving anymore and overburdened, or that you're able to find a fair solution in this situation, with whatever it's involving. Okay, let's take a look at what's hidden. Maybe there's something that you're not seeing that would prove helpful. What's hidden here is the tower. Okay, so this tower is coming in, and what's hidden, and it's saying that either there was an unexpected tower moment that you encountered that put you in this state because you were just taking on too much. Whatever the situation was, it was grossly out of balance. Okay. And so something needed to change. Either you took that time to make that change and remove yourself from the situation, or you're hoping to and planning to and thinking about it right now in what direction you want to go, or this may have happened to you. This may even be something that is about to happen. So when things are out of balance, they need to be made right. Now, either we're going to take action on our own part and, make those changes in our life, whatever they may be, to regain that sense of balance, or the universe is going to come in and do it for us via a tower moment. And so it's really your choice. So usually when we're leading up to a tower moment, we've already had some kind of indication and clue that these things needed to end, that something was not right. It needed to be made fair, whatever it may be. And so either we can take that moment of clarity and understanding our situation and we can take action on it and we can remove ourselves from the situation, or we can find a sense of balance within it and come to some sort of fair agreement within it, or we can go unwillingly and the tower comes in. Regardless, this is what's kind of happening in the background. Either this already happened, soon will happen, or could happen if you choose not to take action, in the right direction and offload this burden and rebalance things out according to the advice that you're being given. Let's take a look at what you don't see coming in the coming weeks. I have the Two of Swords coming in here in what you don't see coming. Okay, so this may be that, you are, finding yourself in a place where you know that this balance needs to be had, and you might be, inadvertently blocking yourself from this actually happening. This may be something where you're kind of digging your heels in the ground and being a little bit stubborn because you don't really want something to change, or you think that it will eventually change and sort itself out. But the reality that's coming out in this reading here is that balance needs to be achieved. There's some kind of karmic cycle that's happening here that needs to close out. And the only way that it's going to close out is that you learn from the lessons of the past, because you've likely been in a situation similar to this, or some kind where there's been an imbalance where you needed to get the confidence and the strength to stand up for yourself and do something about it, or remove yourself from it, or, this is something that's just saying, this just needs to close out, that this is a cycle where you're needing to learn the lesson and move on, because things need to come into your life that are kind of waiting for you. Okay. So again, with this tower moment coming in and what's hidden, you're either going to be stubborn and wait, and then the tower is going to come in and kind of blow things up in a way that may not be so great for you. And then you're going to find yourself scrambling to, know what to do. Or this is going to be where you are going to gain a sense of confidence. You're going to gain a sense of clarity on what you truly want, what's truly happening here, being honest with yourself, learning the lessons that are taking place here, and close out this cycle. Okay. And remove yourself from it completely, or find that balance within the situation, like I had said, where you can come to some sort of agreement to regain a sense of balance and fairness, where everything or everyone involved, feels that things are playing out fairly. Okay. So, you can either, hop in the car and take a ride with it and go off into the new direction, or, you can hang onto the bumper and get dragged along. It's really your choice. So, as uncomfortable as this is to say, and as cold as this may sound, it just seems like you're a little bit stubborn, but know that you have the confidence, know that you can do this, and know that you already know that, something's not right here. Something's a little off balance. Something's a bit unfair, and you're likely feeling very burdened by it. Okay. And even though it brings you sadness to think of the possibility of leaving it behind, something needs to be done about it. And you can do this. So this reading here is trying to give you a little bit of a heads up of what needs to be taken care of in this situation, or what's to come if you don't. So good luck with your situation. I hope that you found this reading to be helpful, and good luck in your situation and getting things sorted out. I know you can do it. Have the confidence in yourself that you can. You can do hard things. And until I see you again next time, take care.